Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. And in this particular episode, I'm going to talk about how to find outsized gains within the Atropa ecosystem. Now, the reason why I want to show this is because I did a video the other day about how to find the next 10,000x within the Atropa ecosystem. So if you do want to check that out, go here. I also need to stress that was simply to emphasize a process. When I'm showing these things, I'm simply showing a process. You shouldn't be paying attention to whatever the token is. It doesn't matter. I also did a liquidity providing video and compounding liquidity providing, and somebody commented on the fact that DAI and diehard was probably the worst pair to show. And yes, fair enough, it was. The point is to actually show you the process. It's not about the tokens. I'm trying to get you guys to think outside of just the tokens. Even though it is a lot about that, it's really just about sharing the process and the mindset and the thinking behind it. And again, that I'm not any particular episode, but not any particular expert or guru. So with that, what I'm going to show you is how to actually find these outsized gains, because we were talking about this in the Mantissa chat. So if you haven't figured this out, then maybe you're going to know what those outsized gains are already. Maybe I've given it away. So if we look at Atropa here, so this is just to the US dollar value. Atropa here has a $36 million market cap. So this is within this market cap. It's 32,000 liquidity. Atropa to Pulsechain. And I've basically taken a date, the 29th of May, from the bottom to the top. So I'm going to show you all the bottom to the top on all of these tokens. So this is Atropa to Pulsechain. So we had a 73.23% gain from here, from the bottom to here. So that was from the 29th to the 5th of June. Now, of course, the important part about the Atropa ecosystem is everything is liquidity bonded. So it all moves together. So now, what are we going to see here? Let's move on to Teddy. So Teddy Bear, it's a lot fatter. It's a lot fatter. It actually has 22. Oh, my apologies. It's not as fat. It has 22 million, but 413K liquidity and 43K volume. So Teddy is a phenomenal pair for liquidity providing, by the way. So again, the 29th to the 5th, they all bottomed and they all topped. Local bottom, local top, 68.5%. Now let's move down the scale. So this one has a lot more liquidity, so the gains are a lot smaller. So this is a very good lesson. So the liquidity here. Now let's actually look here, TRSI. So TRSI is, I'm very, very fond of TRSI. So TRSI, 325K market cap, 4K liquidity, 267 volume. So it's not a pair that even really gets traded. It just gets arbitrage between all the different kinds of pairs. There's like billions, not billions, but there's lots of pairs that it's bonded to. 93.62% gain because the liquidity is a lot thinner, the market cap is a lot smaller. So the movements that you get are a lot bigger. So you're getting outsized gains compared to, for example, Teddy Bear and Atropa. So you're getting an extra 30%, an extra 20%. Now, Mantissa, another one, a beautiful one, almost 1 million market cap. Mantissa is a very special, well, in my opinion, Mantissa is very underrated. Mantissa, if you want to check out the Mantissa video, Maria has spoken about Mantissa at Zurich. So I did a video on that explaining the importance of the Mantissa token within the Atropa ecosystem. 730K, 2.5K liquidity, 349 volume. So again, there's not a lot of volume that flows through these pairs, but the gains, 86.84%. So you're getting an extra 15% with Mantissa compared to Atropa and an extra 20% compared to Teddy Bear. You're getting 10% less or 5% less or whatever it is, 6, 7, so 15% less. No, sorry, 7% less with TRSI. There's not a lot of volume. That's fine, but you're getting outsized gains. So then now zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's exaggerate these dates. Let's go from, let's pick another date here. So just to highlight this point and for you to see how to do it yourself. So just, again, not a TA expert. I just like looking at liquidity flows. Let's say this bottom here, 24th of March. So 24th of March, let's do 24th of March. I got my little favorites down here from the bottom to the top. And this is just for the record, that'll be the bottom of, oh, well, hang on, which is the very bottom week? Okay, so here, let's go the 25th of March. That's the bottom of the week. This is also Heikin-Ashi, so it's not 100% accurate, but I like Heikin-Ashi. It's just I love I just like it better. The flow, the candlesticks. I'm not really like expert on the candlesticks. I like to just see the flow of things. That's just, it suits my temperament. I also think it looks a lot prettier. And as an architect, I vibe with that kind of stuff. So, all right. So 24th of March until so a whole month. So from the bottom here to the top. So let's do the same. So that's 215% gain on Mantissa. Let's do the same. So what's that same process? Just for the record, by the way, you can copy and paste between charts. So I've clicked it, Control C, and then I've Control V'd and I've copied it here. I'll bring it to the date. So 24th of March. So again, look, it's the bottom. It's all the bottom. It's all the freaking same with the Atropa ecosystem because everything is liquidity bonded. So we'll go to the bottom. So how do I go to the bottom of the wick? I hold Control. Can you see how the cursor is moving to different points? It's moving to the top of the bar, the top of the wick, so on and so forth, bottom. So these are cute little tips that you can learn along the way. And let's go to the 24th. Oh, cheeky. So the 24th is actually over here. So it wasn't the top. So, but nevertheless, let's go to the top anyway, 163%. So that was the 17th of April. So this is on TRSI. So 163%. Now let's have a look here. So Control V. Let's go to the 24th. Where's the 24th going to be? Wow, I mean, look how different this chart is. It was the 24th of April, wasn't it? 24th of March, rather. So here's the bottom. So same kind of bottom region. The wick here was a bit different. So these are the movements just by virtue of the bonding and the arbitrage that's happening. So there's no magic Atropa bots. The arbitrage is just happening across the whole of Pulsechain. And it's bonded to all these tokens where the arbitrage is actually connected to all of them and they're all moving up together. So the volume that flows through teddy bear is actually, for example, driving up the whole system because TRSI will also be bonded to teddy bear. So as the price of teddy bear gets pushed away from the price of Pulsechain, then the price of teddy bear to TRSI will it'll pull up TRSI to it. So this is how the arbitrage actually works. So to the top, 163%. Then again, looking here, so same thing. By the way, I have shown this, but you can add things to your favorites by simply going here and pressing the star so you can add it to your favorites. So then I've got my little favorites bar at the bottom, so I don't have to keep finding all the things. So now we'll go to the top. So here was the top here, so 23rd. So there's 130%. So you've got less of a gain. Again, now let's go to the big daddy, Atropa. Where's 24th? Oh, so that'll be down here. So 24th. Now let's actually have a look here. Let's have a look-see here. Bottom to the, where's the top? Oh, okay. So Atropa. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just see if that's not because of these. Let me just delete this here for a moment. Oh, it is. Okay, nice. That is the top of the wick. So 212%. So Atropa had a lot of volume. So it still had a lot of volume coming through it, which is really good. So actually, Atropa had just as good gains as Mantissa, for example. But this is to the US dollar value. When you then go to the Pulsechain value, it'll tell another kind of story. So let's just use these two examples from Atropa to Mantissa. So let's go now to the Pulsechain value to see if we can see the same things. Now, again, Pulsechain has been absolutely like trashed, so it's very, very hard to distinguish it properly. So let's go down to the bottom here. So the first, let's have a look here. So what date is this? I'll add this to my favorites as well. So down here, and here we go. Let's just go to the top. So the 13th of April. So from the 2nd of March to the 13th of April, 637%. Now let's have a look at what this is going to look like with baby Mantissa. So copy, 2nd of March. And you can also double click it if you don't want to find it. I mean, it's a bit more annoying, but I can scroll here to get to the 2nd of March. Here we go, 143, which is again the bottom. And let's see the gains here up to the top. Oh boy, this has actually made a fool out of me. So Atropa is actually getting better gains to Pulsechain. So that's the 6th of April. So there you go, but it depends what you're trading against. If you're trading against Pulsechain, and the 6th of April is here. But at the same time, that's interesting because it actually did have more of a push going on here. So, of course, there are going to be instances like with Atropa where the liquidity actually pushes it up really nicely. Now, if we look at that to teddy bear, to WPLS. Let's see what kind of story that tells. So a lot thicker liquidity, a lot bigger market cap. Not as big as Atropa, but still. Let's have a look, see here. So, so second, it was the second. So again, the chart's very different. So this was the Moon King. I think this was the Moon King pump, perhaps, or maybe from here when he went on to Rand Nuna's show. So let's take it all from the same date. And then we take it to the top. There you go. This highlights the point perfectly. So 294%. So there's a huge focus on Teddy Bear. And I'm not saying don't focus on Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear is phenomenal. I definitely would be holding a lot of Teddy Bear because I do think Teddy Bear is going to be like a game-changing meme. But it's just a way of looking at the ecosystem in a different kind of way. And again, I mean, look, if we want to go even further than this, if we take all the way to the local high, 827%, and we go Mantissa, 728, so it's still less, but yeah, things like Mantissa are a hidden opportunity in my opinion. So it's definitely a better buy than, say, Teddy Bear, which no one actually looks at. Is it necessarily a better buy to Atropa? Not necessarily. I mean, look at the logo for Mantissa. I'm going to get around to doing some Mantissa merchandise as well. So I'm going to be doing BFF, Mantissa. I'm also going to be doing like the Atropa. I've got some cool ideas for Atropa, like very extreme minimalism. But then also like the Atropa web, the wave, like just really, really exploring into this and really seeing where that can go on, really developing and sharing out the beauty of the community. So now, if you look at Mantissa to USDT, there's a lot more volume going through this. Wow, a lot more liquidity, a lot more volume. So 3K volume. So this is the biggest pair at the moment. So in any case, I hope that at least expresses the different kinds of opportunities to find outsized gains, the different kind of things you should be looking at, things like market cap, things like liquidity, things like volume. What are they bonded to? How are they bonded to them? I know, for example, TRSI is one of the most thickly bonded from what I've seen. It has so many liquidity pools. It's crazy. Nobody's buying TRSI, but it keeps doing its thing. And this is the magic of the Atropa ecosystem. This is the magic of the Atropa movement. And this is something that I'm also going to explore. So on this channel, within the coming weeks, I'm gonna mention it now, but I am going to be looking at launching a coin. Not so anybody can buy it. This is not so anybody can buy it. This is really just an experiment to see what it means to actually plug into the Atropa ecosystem, because I think even that is an opportunity where can I plug into the Atropa ecosystem? Can I benefit from the Atropa ecosystem and as a consequence also benefit the Atropa ecosystem? That is what I want to try and figure out. I want to figure out those two things. It's not just about extracting from it, it's also about giving back to it. Can I do those two things where I can take and I can give at the same time? Oh, that sounds a bit dirty. So in any case, that's what I'm really going to be doing with this channel as well. I'm going to be going through that process over the next few weeks. I am talking with the GOAT, Sonny the Detective. So he's helping me out with that. And I'm going to explore that potential on this channel so people can also explore it for themselves. What does that actually mean? How can they contribute? How can they also become a benevolent actor within Pulsechain? Because the way that I'm looking at it is, yeah, like now that it's really started to click what you can actually do. I haven't been stopped talking about this with my boy Muddy. So Muddy's been like, I'm very what's the word, like poly I'm not going to say like I'm a polymath, but you know, I can look at lots of different diverse things, but I find it almost very difficult to like really hone into the detail of things. So like the detail of what does it mean to actually launch a token? Muddy's been telling me about this for so long. He's like, Steve, if we launch a token, we can do this, this, and this. Just look at what's happening with A1A. Look what's happening with the whole rewarder ecosystem. We could start to do this. If we could figure this out. But I can't really focus on the details like that because my mind is really like trying to capture the whole totality of everything. But all I need to see is some diagrams. So he showed me some diagrams. I've had some conversations with Sonny, and I'm just like, holy shit, how is no one doing this? So that's what I'm going to be exploring on this channel within the coming weeks. So if you have an interest in that, I would strongly recommend really keeping an eye on this, because as I'm looking at it, I'm always trying to present something that's going to be in the benefit of the whole. And the way that I'm looking at it is, wow, I can actually benefit from this, but also benefit the whole of Pulsechain. That's the magic of the Atropa movement. So with that, thank you very much. Take care.